Hello, my name is Robin Tamanaha. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist here in Santa Ana. So today what I'm going to talk about are 7 tips to manage stress for a task. And what I mean by task is this could be an event or a project even that you're about to complete. So the first thing to consider is, what's your perspective? Is it positive, like for the most part, or is it negative? Sometimes what happens is people may start thinking of like the worst case scenario, being that they're prepared for anything that could happen. Now, if that's something that brings anxiety and worries, then that means doing that is just not very helpful for this. The second thing is breaking down what you're doing into steps and chunks. That way, it just seems more manageable, and when you look at the picture of everything, it just doesn't seem so overwhelming. It just, instead, when you look at the list, it seems quite doable. The next thing to consider is going at a pace that works for you when you're completing each step or chunk. That way, when you go through each one, you're not so tired and overwhelmed in the end. Sometimes people try to rush to do certain things, but really going at a pace that works for you so that your energy just isn't depleted. The next thing to consider is, how much weight do you carry, and can it be lighter? So maybe there could be others involved. If there are others involved in this, then really divvying up and dividing their steps and their part in it. That way you're not doing everything. And if there's no one involved yet, maybe asking for help is something that will make this experience a lot less stressful, so that you're not doing it all. Another thing to consider is, as you're going through each step and chunk or task, focusing on the here and now. And really, as you're doing that, having faith in yourself that, you're going to get this done and that you're doing a good job with it. Another thing to consider is your responsibility. And what I mean by that is, how much responsibility do you carry when something goes wrong, right? Now, sometimes things happen. Maybe you went to the store and you wanted a specific thing and they didn't have it. So you may do with something else. Or maybe it rained and a part of what you were doing got wet, So this happens a lot in cooking too, where they will substitute certain ingredients so that in the end they're still making the cake, and in the end it still tastes good and it looks good, right? The last thing to consider is really just remembering that unless people were involved in everything that went into completion of this task, they really don't know what it could have been, really. And sometimes that happens where people think, well, it could have been like this because we could have had X, Y, and Z. And really, in the end, all everyone sees is the end product. Like, they're not with you for every step of the way. And even those that were involved in the process of completing this task, they were focused on their own thing and doing that. They really weren't with you for your part in your completion of it. So thinking like, oh, well, it could have been, or it should have been, maybe in the end it wasn't like your ideal, but it got done. And I bet you that people that are there to experience it, they're probably very happy with it, and they probably think you did a good job because they have no idea what went on in the background of this. So I hope this was helpful, and thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.